Hello and welcome to zazoome. I'm Sherry Barbera, and today we are talking about how to price your NFT collection to sell out. This is a strategy for beginners if you're just getting into this, and it's pretty exciting. I'm going to be talking about what kind of mint price, and I'm going to be talking about goblins today. I know. What is the best mint price for a new NFT project? The first and best way for you to figure out your best mint price is to do your own research. And those steps include, I know I say this all the time, searching the marketplaces where your particular collection or not would be. So what are the top selling collections on that marketplace? How do you find that? You go to the marketplace and scroll down the home page. Look, top collections over the last 24 hours, OpenSea, GoblinTown. That's one way to find out. Go to Solana Marketplace, discover the hottest projects on Solana. They're all listed right there. What's another one? Mintable. Go to Mintable. Top collections right on the homepage. Everything is really right there for you on the homepage. Gem, the best NFT aggregator for collectors and traders, etc., and they show you what's trending. Right here says what's trending, what are the sweeps, what are the top 100 results, what's the volume in the last 24 hours. These are the things that you want to look at, and then you want to click and look at the collections and see what the pricing is. LooksRare, again, top collections today. Very easy for you to do your own research on this. Next thing you want to find out is, did the project sell out? And that is a little bit more research on your end. That is you going to the project's website, going to their Twitter account, going in and finding out if you can join their Discord, looking and seeing what people are saying, and then at what price did they sell out? What are current floor prices in the same or even contrasting genres? So it doesn't have to be exactly what you're doing. It can be something similar. And that's a great way for you to start to understand what is working, what is selling, what are people into. And particularly right now, when the market is down and NFTs are still selling, what is selling? What kind of prices are selling? Why is it selling? Look at the buzz that's happening on Twitter. What are people saying about it? This is the kind of research that you want to do, because if you're planning to drop your collection soon, you want to know what is happening right this second, not what happened a year ago, not what happened 6 months ago or 3 months ago. Literally, what is happening right this minute? Because in our NFT world, in the crypto world, in cryptocurrency especially, so volatile. Things are happening up and down on a regular basis, on a daily basis. So you really want to know what is happening specifically today. What's the average price in your NFT genre? So you want to take maybe 10 collections that you are interested in, add them up, and divide by 10 and see what that average price is. Now, let's go to the market and just take a look at, for example, OpenSea. So if we scroll down the page, the very next thing that comes up right here is top collections in the last 24 hours. That's right on the home page. And not a big surprise, what I'm going to be talking about today is one of the collections that's doing phenomenally well, and it's GoblinTown. But there are others that are doing quite well. Roki, of course, Bored Ape Yacht Club, lots of these things. So you want to look and see what is doing well, and then you want to go and click on it. Another one is Solana. What is happening on Solana? Again, you just scroll down. It says right here, the hottest projects on Solana. Right now, we are literally on Solana. You can look at top DeFi projects. You can look at top lending protocols. You can look at the top NFT marketplaces. Look at this. Right off Solana, you can go to Mintable. You can see what's happening there. This is really fantastic. I actually didn't realize that this is just a super way for you to see really, really quickly what is happening on so many marketplaces right now. So Metaplex, Solanart, Magic Eden, SoulSea, you can go and look right now. What about the top web apps? This is a way for you to start to really discover for yourself what's going on. And if we went to Mintable, another one, we could see what are the top collections on Mintable. We can see literally, if I zoom in here, you can see how many items were in the collection, how many views they're getting, what their floor price is, what the volume is in 7 days. This is 7-day volume, how much is sold. And this is a perfect way for you to do your own research, DYOR, and start to really understand what is happening. This one I love. This is Gem. It's called Gem, and it's an NFT aggregator. It just shows you across so many different marketplaces what is happening, who's in the top. And again, the top one right now is GoblinTown. And next would be LooksRare. If you're into art, LooksRare is a great one for you to look at. And again, top collections today. You want to see what is happening here. Bored Ape Yacht Club is doing better than GoblinTown. And there are a bunch of other. Azuki's doing well. Doodles is doing well. These have been the top collections for quite some time now. And by quite some time, I don't mean a long, long time. I mean just they have been doing well for the last couple of months or the last maybe 6 months. Now, I am going to go back to the slides because we went to the market and say, are there any questions about what I just talked about? And I'm going to pop over to us. Hi, honey.
Hi.
I'm going to see. Hello. Let's see who's here. Hello, Rob Greenspan. Welcome. So great to see you. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. And we are basically talking about doing your own research to figure out how you can price your NFT collections mint. What do I mean by mint? Mint is the very first price you ever do. It is sort of sets the bar for what you're going to be doing. And what I recently read from collectors, the collectors said, is that a lot of the newer NFT artists are setting very high prices.
Well, what happened? I know I'm going to do a spoiler alert thing, but what happened to the people that give them away for free and then...
Well, okay, so that is a big spoiler alert, but I will get to that.
That's why,
What so many of the collectors have been saying is that you need to prove yourself in the market first. So setting a high price, even if your price is high IRL in real life, that's not the way to ease yourself into the NFT market. The best thing to do is to price low from the get-go, let the market help you figure out what your price should be, and then slowly in increments raise it. Now, with that having been said, of course, there's a caveat. And we're going to look at it today. Let's get back to the slides. Okay, if you have any questions, put them in the comments below this video or put them in the chat. Is there a best mint price formula? Well, as a matter of fact, there is. There is a best mint price formula. First of all, research your NFT genre on marketplaces, not just one marketplace, a number of marketplaces. Second, rewind and watch the do-it-yourself research steps that I just told you about if you're not sure what to do. Questions, because yes, there's a formula. Do your own research, follow all the steps that I just previously gave you. Are there questions about that? Let's keep going. Does it matter who mints first? Interesting, right? Interesting question. Answer is yes, it does matter who mints first. Why? Well, most projects mint in 3 waves. What do I mean by waves? The first mint is usually your whitelisted community members. These are people who have been with you from the get-go. These are people who you've interacted with, they comment on everything, they're excited about the drop, they're on your Discord, they're interested in everything. The second wave, the second mint wave, is for a pre-sale group, but a very small group, not a big group of people. And the third wave is the general public. The first mint is the lowest price, and that is for your whitelisted group, usually limited to your earliest supporters of your project. The highest odds, now this is why, because the highest odds of minting an NFT with rare traits, which is the most valuable, are going to be with your whitelisters. The second mint is for a small pre-sale group that have been big supporters but weren't there with you from the get-go. They're still big supporters. They're still there with you on your Discord. They're still there with you on Twitter. They still follow you. They go to your website. They're interested in everything that you do, but they just weren't there right from the beginning. So that is a smaller, sometimes it's a much larger group, but a smaller group that you're willing to let come in at the lowest price. And that gives them the opportunity, of course, but not as much, to find a rare trait one. So the requirements for this are not nearly as stringent as for your main whitelist. That's for your first wave. This is your second. The third mint is after both rounds have been completed, and that of course is for the general public. But getting a rare trait NFT diminishes, and the reason for that is because often there are people who will buy 5, 10, 20 NFTs in the whitelist at the lowest price before everybody else, because they're trying to find those rare traits. The other thing is it's based on how many were minted in the private sale. How many are left for the general public to actually mint before they go to the secondary market? And that is another thing that you can find out by going to the website of the collection of the project. The total number of NFTs still available are something that you want to find out. So it's a little bit of research, but that is something that you want to find out. Any questions on that? Okay, put them in the comments below this video and I am going to keep going. What is the best mint price to sell out? Because selling out, of course, is everybody's goal. And previously when we were looking at what's happened in the last year, we've seen Bored Ape Yacht Club. So we've seen a lot of very flat 2D graphic art of apes, of takeoffs on apes, of bears, of takeoffs on bears, because they said, well, animals, if people are buying animals, let's do animals. We've seen cats, we've seen bears, we've seen penguins, we've seen so many hippos, so many different kinds of animals, right? So that was because Bored Ape Yacht Club did really, really well. CryptoPunks, pixelated profile picture, looking like profile pictures. We've seen a lot of collections take off because they looked a lot like that. For example, moonbirds. Moonbirds took off because of them being pixely just like CryptoPunks. We've also seen collections like Azuki where it's very much comic book style or gaming style, which is also comic book style artwork. And they're much more detailed characters. Again, they're two-dimensional. Most of these are two-dimensional. Some of them are super flat, like the pixely ones. And they start to all kind of look the same, don't they? So why would you buy them if you're jumping on the same bandwagon as everybody else? Well, some of them do things differently. Doodles came along and did something really differently, very cute, very fun, very fresh, kind of family-oriented, but then immediately got knocked off by other collections that look similar to Doodles. You just have to take a quick breath and say, what is going to sell the fastest? Probably it's going to be something new, something that doesn't look like anybody else's collection. We are going to look at GoblinTown, a brand new collection, only came out very shortly. I think it was May 22nd. So we are today, May 26th, right? May 26th. So wow, 4 days ago, it came out 4 days ago. Literally, somehow I missed it. Sadly, I missed this drop. And wowzers, it has done sort of gangbusters. If you go to their website, it's really adorable. I'm going to go to their website and show you.
Collection?
It is the collection.
That's how they set up their collection.
Yes. So I'm going to show you what does their website look like. Their website is hysterical. It's super, super simple. And I am going to take me out of this equation because I just want you to see this little tiny guy over here saying, hi, hi there. And then here's a funny thing of the family. Here's a little goblin that keeps running down every now and then. It changes, Goblin Land changes. But what happens is when you're looking at Goblin Town, it says, okay, you know, like, are you ever going to come in? Quit just looking. So let's go back to, here's what it looks like right at the get-go. And then they say, okay, enter, and you enter. And here's what comes up. And there's a hilarious cell phone here. And the cell phone is basically saying what their little words are, which is not much. Like, they have their own language. And then I'm going to just, oh, sorry about that. Let's see if I can go down a bit and get rid of that. Okay, so they're sort of irreverent, as you can see. They're very irreverent in the things that they say. And so what they did was they offered one for free. All you had to pay was gas. And they asked you not to be greedy because so many people were greedy, and that's what happened. The world got crazy and blah, blah, blah. So then they tell you we're reserving 1,000 goblins for themselves because they want to. No roadmap, no Discord, no utility, CCO, contract. And the contract is clickable. Wasn't actually written by goblins. Goblin follow goblin is their hashtags. And if we click on their contract, and we go look at that, we can see that their contract is like super fun because, let me just go out. It says Goblin Town. Isn't that fun? Like, they figured out a way to write Goblin Town right in their contract. So everything about this is completely different from anything that you've seen before. And next, you definitely want to see what collectors and pundits are saying about collections that are doing well right now. For example, what are current collectors saying? Well, here's a collector named Zeneca.eth, so it's at Zeneca_33, a huge collector. Turns out he is one of my teachers. I took a course from him on NFT projects, an excellent course by Zeneca at Zen Academy on NAS Academy, and it's called Zen Academy. And for transparency, I bought like 60-ish a few days ago. I've periodically been selling, still have 31, none listed at the moment, but probably will sell some more soon. This is madness. And why does he say this is madness? Well, because the prices are becoming insane. This person said to him, so how did you hear about it first? And what we all want to know is, did you actually mint some? Heard about it in the Zen Academy Discord. So in other words, join Discords because this is where you're going to hear about collections first. The Proof Discord, and via a couple of DMs, direct messages from people, was on a call at the time when I had a chance to look at the website. It was already minted out. So I swept. What does swept mean? Well, swept means that he went in, it had already sold out, so it was already open to the public. So he went in at the next lowest price and bought as many as he possibly could. Now, if he had been in the original mint, he could have only gotten one anyway. So that is the only way that you could have purchased a ton of them at one time. And that is exactly what Goblin Town didn't want you to do. They didn't want people to come in and purchase a ton for free, actually just for gas, right? Purchase meaning just for gas, because they did as Sal said a little bit earlier, right, honey?
What did I say?
They were free.
They were free.
They were free. So they put them out there for free. All you had to do was pay the gas fee. Sometimes gas fees can get super crazy when a ton of people are minting at the same time. But on your website, theoretically, if it's done right, you should have people in the background that have set it up so it doesn't raise the gas fees. It happens very simply.
So wait, I got a question.
It's done well, yes.
All right, so they're doing that because then when they resell, well, the person that takes it for free,
Yes.
resells it, they get a percentage of the sale.
Exactly.
Now, I have another, just
Exactly.
an extended question. So
Okay.
the other question is, if it resells again after that, do they get a percentage of the second time it sells?
Oh, good question. Okay, so when you set up your
Good answer.
NFT contract, your NFT project, your smart contract, and we went over smart contracts last week and I believe the week before, so look at those videos if you're not sure about a smart contract. This is where you say, okay, this is what my mint price is going to be. This is how it's going to drop and drip out to the different waves. This is where the price is going to be set. If you're going to do an auction, this is what the price is going to be raised to. But this is also where you set a royalty. And you can say in the secondary market, you will receive a royalty in perpetuity.
Oh.
As long as there is a secondary market, as long as people are still buying and selling and trading. That's the key, is you don't want them to trade, you want them to buy and sell. As long as they are buying and selling your NFTs, you will continue to make a royalty.
Every time it gets sold?
Every single time.
Every single time it gets sold.
Every single
And
time.
it's all recorded on the blockchain, so you know that it's going to get sold when it's sold.
Yes, it's recorded on the blockchain, so you can see who purchased it, you can see who sold it, you can see what was paid for it, you can see all of the pricing, everything. You can see everything.
Can you have a list of everything you sold and then have alerts if something sells again?
Yes, you can set up on the marketplace that you are on, you can set up an alert for yourself that's part of your profile account, your own account, is for you to be able to set up alerts. So that's a great question. And there are also bots that can do that for you and things like that. So you would want to look into that. Good question, honey. Okay, so he was on a call at the time. I had a chance to look. It minted out, so I swept. Appealed to me because of the meme. So this is one of the things that's really, really fun about this new collection, GoblinTown, but also for you to think about for your own collection. Is it memeable? That's the word I'm going to use. Is it memeable? Are you able to make fun of it? And if so, make fun of it. Put your own memes out. Get people to start making memes of your NFTs. That's what goes viral. So because of the meme, good website, super important for your collection to have a really good website. I like to make my own websites. In this case, I think I would probably hire someone to do the website for us because I love the new websites, the way they look. Many of them have wonderful animation on them. A lot of them are in a program called JSON, in a coding called JSON, JSON, which I do not do. And so you want to have whatever is the best and most current and most fun and most interesting and most clickable website so that people get involved on your website. This is also where the whitelist mint happens, on your website. It does not happen on a marketplace. So very thoughtful, careful about what are you going to do with that as well. That is really, really important. So free mint, super important. CC0. Wow, what does that mean? I'm going to get into that shortly. No roadmap, well done art. And those were his answers as to why he was interested in doing a sweep of so many. Okay, next question. I'm happy about your win. I agree the space is mental right now because people are going crazy and it's blowing up. Curious though, since you had high enough conviction to mint 60, is there a reason why you didn't share with the Zeneca community? And I am part of the Zeneca community, and his answer is, well, actually I did. We were chatting about it the night it minted out. And right here you can see in Discord. So you have to get into Discord. I have such a problem with that because I'm really not a fan. But you have to get into Discord. So what he said in Discord, GoblinTown, anyone? Here's a question on May 21st. It did not mint until May 22nd. Answer, got to, seem to be moving. So that's the whitelist before the public mint on May 22nd. Zeneca says on May 21st, I like this Goblin Town for a YOLO play. What the heck is a YOLO play? A YOLO means you only live once. A YOLO play in trade means where you go all in, hoping to make a substantial return. That's what a YOLO play is. You only live once. If you're going to invest, if you have the money, and that's the key. This is a volatile space. This is an unregulated space. This is a crazy space. This is a place where you can lose a lot of money. It's also an NFT place where you can make a ton of money. If you have money to spend and money to lose that you won't go crazy about, it's not going to affect your mortgage or anything like that, or your rent, and you want to get in on something that potentially can go crazy like Goblin Town is doing right now, then go all in. And that's what a YOLO play is. It's going all in because you just think, wow, this is going to happen. Do you know anything about the team? Question, do you know anything about the team behind Goblin Town? And Zeneca wrote, not really. It's super high risk with a fully anonymous team. Okay, fully anonymous team. Thanks for letting me know. And again, so many people say you want to have a doxed team because you do want to know, who are they? Who are the people behind this collection? Are they really serious about it? But look at Goblin Town. What did they do? Flipped on the opposite of what everybody else is doing. Who else talked about it? Mark at Fintwit Peak said, love seeing Goblin Town with zero expectations, free mint destroying every other project in the marketplace. Rampant pumping ain't gonna cut it anymore. Do something different. And DigiDreamer says, goblins flipping the entire space on its head. Have a feeling they're here to stay. People are talking about this. John Carlo, who has a ton of followers, I think he's got just on Twitter 75,000 followers, just went through 100 upcoming NFTs. You can do this on the NFT calendar online yourself, and not looking great. Problem is the lazy 10,000 airdrop meta, which is what basically everybody's doing, has likely fizzled out for good. Many of these new drops are stuck in that old-fashioned format, is what he's saying, because they began development months ago, meaning that it's really hard to do something super new and current when you've already gotten yourself on track, maybe already created a $50,000 smart contract and you don't want to change it up. It'll take a few surprise flops for builders, which is us creators, to react. So that is what people are saying. What are the pundits saying, like DAP Radar, NFT Culture, people on Medium? What are they saying? Okay. They're saying this: to the moon without whitelist collaborations or a Discord. Irreverent NFT collection Goblin Town came from nowhere, commands a floor price of just over 0.5 ETH. Already, it's done this without hype, a roadmap, or a huge following, and the NFTs were distributed for free. All they have is a Twitter account with I would be happy to have 10,600 followers. I think I have like 3,600 or something like that. Twitter account with 10,600 followers and counting. I think at this point it's a whole lot more followers. But anyway, so they said, what is it? Well, it's a collection called Goblin Town on OpenSea. The floor price of Freedom in NFTs currently sits at about 0.5 ETH. This was a few days ago, guys. It's not the floor price anymore. The team behind the project has inverted the usual methods of community building, marketing, collaborating, whitelisting, and creating hype for a mint. Project launched on May 22nd without fanfare. The mint was free, with seemingly very little effort put into the launch. Anything more than complete failure is a success. But with nothing to lose, Goblin Town has everything to gain. And this is where you start thinking, should I do a free mint? Because what do you have to lose? You're starting at the very bottom, right? You're starting at the ultimate bottom. Built on the Ethereum blockchain, 10,000 NFTs, generative collection, launched on May 22nd. Twitter profile for the project only set up this month. So they have not been out there blasting everybody with this is who we are, this is what we're going to do, this is when it's going to happen. They've only been around for a month. Team behind the collection made a point of not revealing itself, not doxing itself. There's no roadmap with details. Finally, GoblinTown developers stated explicitly no utility. And I have been talking so much to you guys about, I'm going to go to us, about utility for your NFTs. What makes them valuable beyond the fact that they're a collectible piece of art? Well, GoblinTown just said, we don't care, right? We don't care if there's utility. We are just saying there ain't no utility.
But they weren't anything before that, right?
No.
So that just says that anybody who wants to make NFTs, it gives you hope to not even worry about,
If,
possibly not even worrying about
right,
doing any,
any
advanced
utility at the get-go.
advertising.
But that doesn't mean that you can't add utility down the road.
Right.
And even though they have no road map today, doesn't mean that they won't have a roadmap in a month from now when they've got, at this point, $7 million have been collected by them in royalties. $7 million. So they posted this collection.
In how long?
Well, it went out on the 22nd to the public, so the mint happened right before then. Probably the 20th and the 21st was the whitelist mint, and then the pre-sale op mint for a small group of people, and then it went to public on the 22nd. Today's the, what did I say today was? I don't know why I keep forgetting. The 26th.
The question
4 days.
is-
In 4 days.
So why are we not doing this?
Why isn't everybody doing
Why are we
this?
not doing this? Wait,
Guys.
microphone, why are we not
Guys.
doing this?
Do this, do this, do this, do
Oh.
this. Okay, guys, do this. Okay, but keeping in mind what's coming up is that this is not a project like Bored Ape. This is not a project like CryptoPunks. This is not a project like Azuki. This is not a project like anything we've seen before. This is not a project like anything we've seen before. And I want you to keep that in mind. That's the key. That is the key. One of the keys to why this is doing so well. We don't know a huge amount about it. The collection seems to have come from nowhere. It's not been heavily marketed to the NFT community. Despite this, trading volume on OpenSea is already over $7.76 million at this time of writing. So they do make a percentage of, so it's not that they have made $7 million, I take that back. They have made a percentage of $7.76 million. I don't know what their royalty is, but here they are, one of the top collections, making tremendous amounts of money. They entered the number 2 spot on DApp's radar for the past 24 hours alone. They've generated $4 million in sales in 24 hours. Even so, people on Twitter still don't know where they originated from, but this hasn't stopped the internet from being impressed at a brand new project's ability to make something out of nearly nothing. Imagine working on an NFT project for months, setting up collabs with the biggest projects, alpha groups, getting 200,000 followers, engagement farming, whitelist spot giveaways, then after mint, everyone bricks the floor under mint price. GoblinTown, free mint, no collabs, no whitelist, no Discord, crushing it, basically crushing it. So that was on the 22nd. One thing we do know about GoblinTown is it wasn't built by goblins. Well, we do not know that it wasn't built by goblins. The scant messaging states as much on their website, but still they're a bunch of liars, so who knows? But aside from this small nugget of non-information, all we know is that they are irreverent and they've spotted a gap. And this is what I want you to focus on. Spot the gap. What is the gap? And when I say the gap in the marketplace, what are people doing? What is everybody copying? What is happening out there right now? What is not happening? What are you not seeing? For example, are you seeing collections about health and fitness? I haven't seen any.
There must be.
I haven't seen any. It doesn't mean that there aren't, but I have not seen any. Health and fitness.
Well, maybe that's not what people want.
I don't know because I haven't seen it. I just haven't seen it out there. So what are all of the top things that people do? What are you not seeing? You're seeing a lot of artwork, but what are you not seeing? Are you seeing medical? Are you seeing health? Are you seeing gardening? What are you not seeing? What is the gap? There are tons and tons and tons of opportunities here, guys. You just have to think about it yourself.
I have a question. It's not related to what you're saying right now.
Okay.
It's a question for before. So when they dropped their
Yes.
when they dropped their collection,
Yes.
how many did they have on their first drop? Do you know?
Their collection is 10,000, probably 10,100, it's probably 11,000 because
So
they
it was
kept
a-
1,000
it was
for
a-
themselves. Or maybe it was 10,000 and they put out their 9,000.
So it was a collection.
Oh yeah, it's a generative
It
project.
wasn't a one of one.
No, none of it is one of one. And when you look at the little goblins that I've put all over my slides, look at the diversity and fabulousness of this collection.
So,
I love it.
Let me make sure I got it right. So
Yeah.
the reiteration on this generative collection is they put in all the components of the goblins. They put in all the components of the goblins.
Yeah.
They put in all the components of the goblins, and then the program does the generative collection for them, mostly. Explain that to me one more time.
Okay, so when you're building a generative project, you do all of your layers. You have your backgrounds, you have your base character or characters. You have all of the traits that go on top of, so here's your background, here's your base character, and then all of the traits that go in front of that. It can be eyes, it can be hair, it can be hands, it can be
Accoutrements,
accessories, right?
things,
Whatever
hanging,
that is.
sitting on top.
Yes.
Right.
And then when you're doing your traits and rarities and things like that, you enter into the program that you're working within. Like for example, Bueno Art. If you're doing your NFT collection in Bueno Art, you enter into the program how many of what you want to happen. Like if you want 50 of them to have googly
Okay.
eyes, if you want 100 of them to have, red lips. What is it that you want in this collection? How many are going to be one of ones? These are the rarest ones. How many of those will there be? 12? Will there be 10? Will there be 6? Will there be 100? That's too many. But how many of your 10K will be rarities? And then the other thing is, which of the rarities do you not? This is just as important as what you do want. What don't you want in your collection? This is a little bit off topic, but I'm glad that you asked the question because it's so important. When you look at the little goblins that I've added into the slides, you're going to see that a lot of them look similar and yet they're so different looking. Right. It's amazing. And a lot of that is, what do you not want to happen with this particular shaped goblin? For example, if it's a goblin with little hands like this, do you not want it to have certain kinds of eyes, certain kinds of hair, certain kinds of accessories? So what you want and what you don't want are just as important as each other when you're building out your collection. Great question. They've come up with an effective way of standing out in an industry whose users claim to appreciate solid smart contracts, clear roadmaps, a team that communicates clearly, and valuable utilities, which we've been talking about. What we're seeing, however, is that people crave novelty. So irreverent, a gap, and novelty. They want to associate themselves with a brand new NFT concept, because this in turn will make the holder of the NFT stand out. And haven't we talked about how you being a part of a collection elevates your status? So for example, Bored Ape Yacht Club holders of these NFTs feel like they're in a special elevated group. Why? Because celebrities are part of it, because famous people are part of it, because prices are super high, because they have in real life, IRL, they have in real life parties and events, because you can get cool merchandise, because you can actually, once you are the NFT holder, you can then license out your own NFT and make commercial profit from it, make a business around it. It is a way for you to elevate yourself and your business by owning someone else's art that's doing super well. It's like if Coca-Cola or if Disney gave stuff away for free, which they don't and they won't, because that's not the way they think. No, they think IP all the way, intellectual property, right, and copyrights and for themselves and licensing. But if they were to give away Coca-Cola rights to you, and you then could have commercial products around Coca-Cola, what are you doing? You're elevating them. But Disney, Coke, they've been around for more than 100 years. They don't need your elevation. They do a ton of marketing, blah, blah, blah. So that's the thing. These brand new collections, they need that elevating to stand out. Looking at the website, obviously creative despite the seeming lack of care, a lot of thought clearly has gone into it. The anonymous team behind the project, however, hasn't spent its time building up a loyal fan base and a strong community, which didn't matter because now they have a huge fan base and a strong community within 4 days. The NFTs were minted for free. There's nothing to undercut by bricking the floor price. In a way, GoblinTown is the anti-NFT project. I love that so much. The anti-NFT project. It's so smart to say that. It's the punk rock of Web3. It's a quick success. It's a testament to originality. I love that as well. Be original. Think outside of whatever is happening right now. Be you. I always say this. Believe in you. Whatever your fun, unique, cool, original concept is, believe in it, because originality is key right now. If this popularity continues, expect a slew of copycat projects, of course, that feign indifference and attempt to make a virtue out of apathy, meaning that, they're just going to ride the coattails and make as much money as they can, creating goblins, which has already happened. People have already put up little GoblinTown looking things. So NFT Culture said, and that's another pundit, GoblinTown, it's an interesting project, free to mint, sets it apart from a lot of the projects that existed before it. Look at how adorable these little guys are. I absolutely love them. There are so many things about that. Now, this is what's interesting. There have been rumors, and we don't know yet if they're true or not, that Yuga Labs, the owner and the creator of Bored Ape Yacht Club, and the owner of CryptoPunks and MeBits, created GoblinTown. Rumors that some of the top studios in this space behind Bored Ape Yacht Club may be involved in this. The reason why is because the artwork is so fabulous. The way that it launched is so fabulous. Everything about it is very sophisticated. Even though it has a smart contract that's minimal, the smart contract is awesome. Obviously, a lot of thought and care went into it. And here's the other thing. They also came up with a Creative Commons 0 license, which makes all of the images in the collection accessible and usable by any and all for free. You can make this a commercial product for yourself. And what are you doing by doing that? You are promoting the artwork, you're promoting the collection, and yet you are building around your own business a community of people who want to elevate and uplift you and buy your merchandise. That is what's great about the Creative Commons 0 license. The other thing is, it'll be interesting to see what happens over time if the creators will or will not reveal themselves, or let the market decide what will ultimately come for this interesting and unique today NFT project. So, additionally, launched a few days ago, generated over 4,000 ETH, blah, blah, blah. Recommend collectors look for a value in this market. Look for these types of projects that have low or zero cost, like mint cost. This I think is supposed to be mint cost, where not mint cost, but mint cost. There's absolutely amazing upside, and you really should look at your spelling. And the ability for teams to actually deliver a unique idea instead of being burdened with the perceived utility that many, I think, NFTs come with in this day and age. I don't think it means to be men. And that is the other thing that is so important for you to think about. If you've been listening to what everyone is saying, including me, that utility has become really, really important in the space because people are looking for, what am I getting out of this besides just a piece of art and a collectible? Is there utility? Is there something useful with this? you can always add it later. You don't have to say, oh my gosh, I can't mint now because I don't have a roadmap and I'm not sure what I'm doing and I don't have this and I don't have that, blah, 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 stopping you from getting yourself out there. Forget about it. Forget about it. Okay? As the Sopranos would say, forget about it.
Forget about it.
Just go ahead and do it. Okay? So just go ahead and do it because it can work. It can work phenomenally well.
Our Greenspan
Yes.
had a question a little while ago. You might want to answer
Oh,
that
okay.
one.
So Rob said, what would you guess is an average royalty? Wonderful question. Royalty averages have changed considerably over the past year. Average royalties used to be in around the 5 to 7.5%. I think they're getting higher now. I think average royalties are in the more 8 to 10%. They have been climbing. And I do believe that is because more and more people are following this free mint, not more and more collections, but thinking about following this free mint idea where you start off with, let's give it away. People just pay the gas fees. Let's get the collection out there and get the FOMO happening, fear of missing out happening, and you know, just get that buzz going. And then in the secondary market, this is where you start to make all your money. And when people start to create, if you do the CC0, the CC0, Creative Commons 0 licensing, this is where you're going to have the opportunity, instead of copywriting your art and saying, no, you can't use it, let people use it, give it away for free. Wow, I talked about a project quite a long time, months ago, probably in January, February, about a project that did just this, and they have been doing phenomenally well. So great question. Thanks, Rob. Okay. We recommend collectors looking for a value in this market look for these types of projects that have low or zero mint cost, where there's absolutely amazing upside and the ability for teams to deliver a unique idea instead of being burdened with the perceived utility that many of the mints have today. Okay, so on Medium, published in Coin Monks, why is GoblinTown so popular, showing the ugly. And here's another thing. So many of the NFTs coming out are beautiful. So many of them, like Flower Girls, World of Women, Boss Babes. These are beautiful women. Many, many of them have beauty as a huge part of it. Or fun. Fun is a great big thing. Or the comic book style, where you're used to something that has sort of a dreamy quality to it, but ugly, we're not used to seeing ugly, right? Ugly has not been a big part. Now, I did talk about a rug pull called Pixelmon, M-O-N, Pixelmon. And what they did was they made millions and millions and millions of dollars with a ton of hype, created FOMO. Tons of people bought into the project way before it even came to mint, and spent like $9,000 per NFT. And when the artwork came out, it was ugly. There was like this Kevin meme about Kevin going around, this character that they had created that they called Kevin. And people were like, what is this hideous looking thing? But that was because they cheaped out and created horrible artwork, and they didn't spend the money that they got on creating really great artwork. And great artwork doesn't have to be, but in this case, it really mattered. So the ugly side of NFTs in recent weeks, with the bear market hitting the NFT space hard, enter GoblinTown, an ugly mess of an NFT collection. No utility, no roadmap, no Discord, no endorsements. No one even knows where they came from or who the team is. Investors were merely collectors who showed up on the GoblinTown website and minted a free goblin. So who made it? Nobody knows. Even the team behind is undoxed, meaning they are not known. So they intentionally leave a lot of questions to be answered. However, look at the quality of the execution. Super high, super high. So that's why people are speculating that Yuga Labs, who has, at this point, I think $2 billion in their coffers, maybe created GoblinTowns, and that's why it looks so phenomenally wonderful. Why is everyone gurgling over these goblins? Well, they aren't cute, they aren't clean, cool, or cuddly, they're goblins. But we're all going down to GoblinTown, aren't we? Because GoblinTown spits its lack of usefulness in the face of investors. And this is the thing. They are doing the anti-NFT. They are doing the antithesis of what everybody else is doing. So think outside of the box. It's a refreshingly transparent statement in a sea of rug pulls and scams and copycats, may I add, and oh so similar looking everything, right? So GoblinTown has investors racing to tumble down in a space full of projects, promising gains, upward trends, increased value. It's ironic that these goblins have resonated with so many investors, but it's so not ironic because it's different. It's something new. Their self-awareness oozes through their imagery and messaging. I love that. Don't be greedy. That's how we got here. So they're just saying to everybody, please don't be greedy. But people are greedy anyway. Telling investors not to be greedy goes against everything that's happening in this space. It opposes the idea of minting as many hyped NFTs as possible for a quick flip and a sweep, which means buying as many low-price NFTs as you possibly can so that you can resell them for a huge profit. But you know what? Maybe it is precisely what the space needed. Maybe just doing something ugly, doing something fun, doing something crazy, doing something different, doing something tongue-in-cheek where the memes are out the door and everything is so different is exactly what everybody needed, because honestly, I was getting bored. So such bold moves also point to the idea that the creators have nothing to lose. They don't even need to sell their NFTs for money. The mint was free for everyone. And what is the future? Nobody seems to know. They're a fun way to self-reflect on the current purpose of the market. They may signal a shift in the market. It's a welcome transition to thought-provoking, timely, and fun NFT projects. And that's a smart way to put it. So are there questions about this? Put them in the chat, put them in the comments below, and we will be happy to get to them. Now, this is so important. What should you do to price your NFTs to sell out? What should you do? That is the question. And the answer is something new, something different, right? These are all so similar. Yeah, they're adorable, but God, they all just look so similar. Don't do what everybody else is doing. Do something different. This is what's now. You can see there's a trend, right? This is what's now. But if you want to create something new, do something different. Do something fresh. Do something with a fun or a silly or a weird story. Okay, story is huge. What's the story that you have behind it? Why do you even want a story? Well, it creates buzz. That's why you want to create buzz. For example, Arc Aesthetics said, GoblinTown created culture, its own religion, its own memes, its own in-jokes, and formed a community around all of it. It is a complete social entity. Well put, aesthetic, because that is so true. And Funky Donk says, I'm honestly shocked at the divide on GoblinTown because some people actually still really hate it. I believe it's brilliant, storytelling first, deep immersive experience, actually says something about the NFT space, and it was free. Other people just say, oh my God, they're so ugly. Why are they worth 1.5 ETH? But those are the same people that say NFTs are stupid and you can right click them. I thought GoblinTown was a Deegan mint. When I started diving into the project, I discovered a trail of breadcrumbs carefully placed to capture your curiosity and imagination. This team is full of storytellers meticulously curating a Disney experience for Web3. And this is where you can start to learn so much in Twitter. What are people saying? The next thing you want to do is just flip the space on its head. How do you do that? Well, you do it by doing the opposite, the antithesis, the anti-NFT of what everybody else is doing. For example, a free mint, right? We talked about a free mint. No doxing. Do people know who they are? They do not know who they are. Does it matter? It does not matter. There is no roadmap. There is no Discord. It's just a website and now a Twitter account. So I much prefer, Henry Brody says, I much prefer this model of launching a project, free mint plus gas, holding back a percentage of the supply for themselves, effectively making a little less than $3 million in 5 days for themselves, much better incentive alignment with the community. P.S. This collection is effing hilarious. So, what are other creators saying? Well, Moonturds, which is minting right now, that's a horrible name, says, we love seeing GoblinTown crushing it. And to be honest, organic community beats venture capitalist culture. And this is the kind of thing that this is like goblins speak. Okay, so goblins, they have their own language even, and it's hilarious. They have their own sounds, and it's hilarious. What else can you do? You can give collectors a fear of missing out on whatever it is that your collection is about. So people are selling these top collection NFTs, Azuki, Bored Ape, Deegan Tunes, and buying up goblins. Oh my God. So people are buying these funny, hilarious looking little goblins. Memes are coming out, art in 1503, art in 2022. It's just really fun. So it creates a buzz that makes people talk about it. Masterpiece of our generation. I mean, really? But maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe it is. People were saying that CryptoPunks are masterpieces of our generation. I mean, let's talk about real art. Is this real art? Well, I have to say, yeah, it is real art. It's beautifully rendered. The details in it are so fun and so elegant, and even though it's hideous and the colors are hideous, it's still fabulous. I mean, these eyes and the eye sockets and these funky little noses and those funny little ears and this great beard and this hilarious little naked body. I mean, they're just so much fun and silly and goofy. And I mean, who would paint a nose purple, an eye green, and an eye orange and have yellow ears? It's just really, really fun. He also looks like he's got a potato head. So this is just a way for you to create buzz about something really, really fun. And look at this fabulous background that they created to show off their fun, simple little NFTs. So is that what GoblinTown actually looks like? I don't know. What are your questions about this? Let me know, of course, in the comments below this video, or if you're here in the chat. Let's keep going. Oh, okay. So I've decided that for next time, I would like to know, what do you want me to talk about? Because I have talked to you so much about smart contracts, NFTs. What is an NFT? What is crypto? What is the blockchain? How do you create an NFT project? What is a smart contract? What is utility for NFTs? What do you want me to talk about? What do you want to know? This is what I would like to talk about, whatever it is that you want to know. So put it in the chat, put it in the comments below, send us a message on our YouTube channel, go to Twitter, to zazoome_me, go onto our Twitter account, DM us, let us know, what are you interested in having us talk about next time? Because that's what we want to talk about, what you want to know about. And basically, there's a ton of stuff to be known in this space, right?
And it's ever evolving, so there'll always be more.
There's always something to talk about.
Right.
There's always new collections. There's always case studies. There's always something new, something fresh, something fun. Maybe you just want to talk about ideas for projects. I don't know. What is it that you want to talk about? This is what we are here to help you with. So let us know. Okay.
To get started.
To get started. So Rob said the artistic style reminds me of the characters on the Netflix show Big Mouth.
My characters on what?
The Netflix show Big Mouth. That's a fun observation, Rob. It's just really, really cool. And I think taking marks from what is happening in the world today and incorporating those into your NFT collection is a smart thing to do. It's also fun to do retro NFT collections because history is always interesting and you can learn a ton from history. So retro is fun to do as well. But popular culture is a great thing to do. Disney is popular culture. As I said before, Coca-Cola, there's lots of things that are popular culture.
Relatable. Yeah.
That make it
it's
relatable.
Not like you have to always make your own characters. You can change characters that are already made and very popular, or what's the word I'm looking for?
Yeah, that are in the
relatable.
That are relatable, that are popular, that are in the the swim of
Yeah, it's
popular
been in the culture
culture.
for a long, long, long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, maybe there's groups already around some kind of a collection. You're taking notes.
Well, I
love
just
that.
thought of a really good collection. All right, then.
I love that. So, what is it you want us to talk about? Please let us know, and that is what we will talk about next time. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to our YouTube channel right this second. Please subscribe right now. We are trying to hit 1,000 subscribers to get us into that YouTube partner program. You know I love YouTube. You know I love those likes. Give us a like if you haven't already. And what is next? We hope to inspire you on NFTs, crypto, the blockchain, all of this kind of stuff, because that is what we are all about. So we are just now going to say thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We love it when you're here. If you have any other questions, put them in the comments below this. Be sure you like it. Be sure you subscribe to it. And what was that?
I was listening to the question.
Oh, okay. We're listening.
I was paying attention and listening.
We're listening. GM friends, wonderful to see you all. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next video.
Toodles.
Ciao, guys. Thanks for joining us.